Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future anime and cartoon-related videos. So today we are talking about Re:Zero Season 2, Episode 5, and I like Re:Zero again. I know a lot of you guys were like, oh, you can't say this episode sucks, blah, 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 you're emotionless, you're just a dumb simpleton, all you care about is fighting. And that is not true. There was basically no fighting in this entire episode, and I liked this episode. Yes, there was more talking and dialogue, but it wasn't boring to me personally. I don't know why you're getting all angry about it. Express my opinion on the internet. I guess that's what I get for making YouTube reviews. Anyway, the biggest thing we get out of this is Roswaell is terrible. He is a terrible human being. Yeah, that's basically the gist of this episode. He is a terrible human being and deserves to die, in my opinion. So he himself worships the Witch of Greed, Enchata, which is the one Subaru god, and basically the reason he went to the sanctuary in the first place and avoided the whole witch cult thing was to set up all of these crazy events in order to get the villagers to see Emilia. So basically he sacrificed a crap ton of people, his own people, other people, for everything to play out, where Subaru, and more specifically Emilia, not just Subaru, because obviously Emilia, he wants her to be the queen. Basically the gist behind that was that he needs to do all of this for her to become, head of everything, the queen, because then if she's head of everything, then he becomes in power as well, and basically you're good to go with that. So yeah, Roswaell is a terrible human being, and I hope he dies at some point in time. Ram, actually, not Rem. So Ram, she's getting annoying too. She's getting on my nerves a bit too, because she defends it. And then at the end of it, Subaru is like, well, I can't tell Emilia anything because that would make things a lot worse than they were and put her in an even worse emotional state. So, yeah, Roswaell, bad guy. I think Roswaell is going to have to die at some point in this show. So let's go on to the actual trial part. Which agreed. She basically was like, hey, yup, all that was fake, and Subaru was like, I don't care if it was fake. I got to say what I needed to say. That was the end of it. And we learned there was actually 2 more additional trials, which kind of sucks, because we thought it was going to be a one-and-done type situation. Nope, there's going to be 3 trials, and Subaru actually passed it. He's the only person that's ever passed this trial. She says that she looks forward to seeing him again, even though he doesn't want to. But 9 out of 10, I'm guessing he is going to have to complete the other 2 trials based on what happened at the end of this episode, which, remember the Debowler from Season 1? Yeah, she back, and he was worried about Rem, so he went to go check on her because nobody was at the mansion. Most likely the Debowler killed everyone in it. And he got killed by her as well, so we're going back to the reset. So 9 out of 10, everything that just happened in this episode is basically going to be reset, null and void. He's going to remember all of it, but I don't exactly know what point he's going to be. My guess, he's probably going to be at the point right after he completed the trial. That's probably his next save point, most likely. So we also learned that Emilia, while pretty, she seems to be kind of useless, I guess is the best way to describe it as of right now. So she's the one that needs to try to complete the trial, and she's not severely injured or hurt in the process, which is perfectly fine. But the first one is basically you have to kind of accept your past, meet with your past, reconcile with your past. That's basically the gist of the first trial. And I guess Emilia has a very messed up past because she's like, no, Daddy, somebody save me. So I don't know what the heck the story is behind her past. Obviously, it's not good. Something very bad happened in her past that messed her up for the future a little bit to a certain extent, but who really knows? I don't really know what happened to her past. I'm assuming we'll learn more about her past in the upcoming episodes. There was kind of an annoying moment that Ram doesn't know who Rem is. Ram tells Subaru at one point to tell Beatrice something in regards to Fredericia. because we don't really know what's going on with her too. She might be working for somebody else as well, trying to trap everybody there for some sort of specific reason. I don't really know. Her and Garfield don't see eye to eye on things, but we don't really know anything about her. We saw her a little bit, I think, in maybe 2 episodes we saw her. It was basically, here you go, here's this gemstone, go save everybody. And that was basically the gist of seeing her. We don't have much information about her. But overall, I like the episode. Definitely flowed very well. Yes, last episode, it was heartwarming and touching and all that as well upon rewatching. Because I did go back and rewatch it after so many people were negative on my review about it. But I still kind of generally feel the same way about that episode, that it was fine, but it could have been shorter, and they could have done something else. Right, so what's going to happen for the next couple of episodes is Subaru most likely is going to just have to suck it up and complete those other 2 trials. The reason he doesn't want to do it is because he wants all the credit to go to Amelia, so that way she looks good for the selection, and more people go behind her. It's actually interesting because some of the, I guess, half-blooded people that are in the barrier don't have the ability to get out, and they don't want to get out. They feel like they're safe and protected. Nobody can really enter the barrier too well. You know, they only see different people from time to time, and they don't want it to be open because then more people are going to be able to get in and harm them, which they don't want to happen. Obviously, I don't want to get harmed by other people either. Who does? So I can definitely see their point. So there might be an issue arising there at some point in time as well. But I don't think Amelia is going to be able to reconcile with her past because of just how it was. Garfield and Subaru kind of had a conversation about that happening, where it was like, yeah, her past, like, listen to her cry and plea every single time she gets done with the trial. Like, she keeps putting up with it because she wants to be this big hero, but in reality, no. And Garfield's like, Subaru, you're going to have to do this, probably, is what's going to happen. He's going to have to go complete the other 2 trials, which I definitely see happening, because if he doesn't, then he's going to end up in the situation where he's back in the mansion and DeBowler's there, and yeah, problems. So I don't know what's really going to happen in regards to that. I don't really know, like, the DeBowler, I don't know what, like, if she's part of the witch's cult, if she's just trying to steal the pendant so that way she herself can become the ruler. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with her. I'm sure we'll learn about that in future episodes too. I'm not really expecting her to be in the next episode too much, maybe a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff that's got to play out. Because I'm wondering where the reset is going to happen, because if the reset happens, then Subaru is going to know everything Roswell said, but Roswell isn't going to know that he knows, even though he does, which is, you know, kind of a conundrum there. But who knows? We'll have to see where the reset takes place. It might be right at the mansion steps, too. I honestly don't know, but I think he's going to end up being back in the barrier for episode 6, most likely. And he's going to have to complete the trials. Is 9 out of 10 what's going to happen is he's probably going to end up going into one of the trials. But overall, this was a fine episode. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst either, in my opinion. It's a setup episode. That's what I prefer to call them as. Where basically it's setting up things for future events to happen. Re:Zero in general seems to be very much so a setup anime, where one episode will be not as good as the others. I mean, still, like, I can say this episode was really great compared to last episode, but I'm sure the episodes that follow are going to top it, or we'll call it a topper, where each episode progressively gets better and better and better, and you have the season finale, and then you're just craving more because you want that next season. But we got quite a ways to go. I believe we have 25 or 26 episodes this season, so that is going to be nice to see how everything plays out there. And it is just going to be fun to watch, you know. Enjoy it. Have your opinions as you will. Comment down below what you think might happen next. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. I'm trying to think. I think there was one more thing that I'm forgetting that I wanted to say about this episode. It wasn't a comparison to last... Oh, yeah, the beginning of it. Subaru simping. That was kind of funny. He basically was like, hey, by the way, you look pretty good in that uniform. And the witch agreed, was like, oh, good, I got it from the depths of your memory. I hope you like it. So maybe it reminds him of a simpler time of school, something along those lines, because he ended up in his old school building, or kind of a replica simulation of his school building. That was pretty funny. You got to throw in some comedy in there once in a while. I mean, it's a very serious anime in certain aspects of it, but throw in a laugh here and there, and we all can get a nice, good chuckle in. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, second one was better. Have a good one.